Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are witnessing a sea of green across the board as Bitcoin attempts $73,000 while the S&P 500 wraps up one of its strongest weekly performances of 2026. Tonight, we're dissecting the micro data, driving this surge and mapping out exactly how to position yourself for the weekend volatility ahead. Let's dive straight into the charts and see if this momentum has the legs to carry us into a historic spring breakout.
JJ's got the keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow. Crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today? Smash the like button on your way in. Appreciate you guys for joining. Let's see. Hey, still in the bunker. I have new screens today. I don't know if I like them, but if you're wondering why is the camera in a weird position, I'm wondering the same thing. Let's see. We got a poll in the chat for you guys. How will peace talks go tomorrow? Your options are great, all part of the plan, bad, Trump is embarrassed, good, more delays though, or bad, back to war. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Bitcoin, $72,730.84. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map. What's going on, Gourmet Brands? Mr. Tom Selleck's Goat. Guys, smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Pretty chill day. Next week, I will more than likely be streaming quite a bit. 73,507. 73,507, possibly multiple times a day. Because I'm not working next week. I'm not working at my normal day job next week. 76,136. So I will have a lot more hours to myself, which is pretty exciting. 72,466. And the bottom of the bottom, we've got, go all the way down to, doop, I can't see, 69,289. We've got Mr. Tom Selleck's Goat. Real to True said, you think we're heading down now? Or more weird shopping liquidations? Down to 69.1 seems nice before a pump. Tom Selleck's Goat said, original name of War and Peace. War, what is it good for? Seinfeld. Okay. 72, 736, 692. The numbers that do the things. Real to True, do I think we're going to go down now? That is a great question. Weekends are historically worthless for Bitcoin. at least until Sunday afternoon. We like Friday night, Saturday, entire day, nothing burger. And then Sunday we can go up or down. So right now, I guess it would all be news driven. If it looks a little spicy in between Trump and Iran, then we could go down. I would not be surprised to see that happen. But right now, we're kind of just rejecting 73, 72.6. I guess I would be looking at psychological levels, 72.5. I would look at this level right here. 71, I just call it 71.5. 71.6, I guess. See if 71.6 does anything for us. But so far, unfortunately, this is looking very ascending triangle. Ascending wedge. Which is not a great pattern. But that's like really zoomed in. I got really nothing, honestly. We're kind of an in-between zone for me, because I want to see us get above 75k is the big number. So the fact that we're at 72.7, I'm not bullish or bearish, I'm just waiting. So I guess to answer your question, out of my options, I'm going to say weird chopping. Liquidations is a maybe for the weekend. It's rare that we get liquidations on the weekend. It's usually news driven. We got a red dot on market cipher, which I think has since played out. Or invalidated at least. Our cloud is on the upper half, but we do have positive money flow. So there's that. I'm worried about getting a little too excited a little too fast. This is on the 4-hour though. Daily looks okay. We're not overbought yet. We just got above 60 on the RSI. Momentum wave is not overbought either, but it's getting close. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. So Bitcoin's chilling. 72,729. Dominance grinding up. Perfect 45-degree angle. 59.66. Are we going to reject 59.75? Arbitrary number. Maybe. Gourmet said Artemis landed in the water. Probably woman. What's going on, 88 metals? Gourmet said, I would love a pump, but I also don't mind still accumulating. I don't want to accumulate anymore, man. I'm done accumulating. Let's go. Tom Sauce Code said, hey, look at Amazon. Went from 200 to 240 again. Easiest 20% for the third time. But now I'm going to let it ride for 300 incoming. All right. Rave Dow is having a nice week. What's the ticker for that? ETH is down 0.36, seemingly rejecting 2250. How many times have I said 25? I swear I say that every single day. We've rejected 2250 for the second time. Are we going to do a full pullback, or are we going to find support at around 22 and break 2250 finally? Great question. Glad you asked. Solana. I like that. Just like acknowledging and then moving on without actually answering the question. Solana 84.41. I don't know. The last one rejected kind of at 85, and we're kind of doing it again, I guess. We're well above 80 though, so Solana just seems like it's coiling up. It's nice, tight, coiled up. Perhaps a inverse Batman pattern, inverse Mothman. Pick your poison. See if that results in anything. The target would probably just be 90. It's a weird head, so getting a neckline is kind of odd too. Yeah, I would go for 90 if you're trying to be targeting anything. Not financial advice though, of course. Total 3 is down 0.22% on the day, currently trading at 714.39 billion. It almost looks like Total 3 is consolidating versus trying to break a resistance level. So we're above 711, which is my little target from way back when. We're kind of just doing the range thing still. Gold down 0.47% on the day, currently trading at $4,746. Is gold going to catch a break, or is this just a failed rally? Hopefully that's not the case. What do you guys think? Do you guys think gold and silver are going up from here? Or do you think that it's just a dead cat bounce, continuation to the downside? RSI actually looks kind of good. God, that's good coffee. That is so delicious. Yeah, we'll have to see. Can we get above and stay above 48? That seems to be the resistance right now. We rejected right here, and then since then we've had trouble getting above and staying above it. We do also have a confirmed red dot on market cipher, which we have not gotten above since. Brave 88 said down. Brave. I want to see. Whoa! What on earth? Wow. A lot of people just gave up. They want to party. Party would be a fun ticker. Let's see. Argument made that you see the green flip and you buy 4 of those beautiful like cell tower green candles. And that would be overbought on a 4-hour though. Let's say you bought the flip. You break above, stay above, or hold as support that moving average. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of credit. Let's say you caught it later, maybe on this bounce right here, and you're like, oh, 627%. Wow, that's pretty amazing. The big middle finger in the volume, that's pretty sick too. Love to see it. $1.80. I don't know anything about this coin. Let's see if you can get above $2 though. Silver is up 0.19% on the day, currently trading at 75.83. Is she going to break 77? Or is she coming down some more? I'm getting little bear flag vibes for sure. I hate that. I hate it so much. 88 said down. Well, that's a hort. If I ever seen one, no. A hort. What's a hort? Guys, my screens are so big, I don't think I like them. They're too big, man. I don't think I've ever experienced this in my life. I thought I have like little 22s. And I thought those were small when I got them. Got used to them. I'm like, whatever. They look great. They fit nice on the desk. I got some 27s for my work. My boss was like doing stuff, and I was like, I'll buy those screens. He's like, all right. So I get them home. They're kind of heavy. They're old-ish, but they're still in really good shape. They were high-end years ago. And I hook them all up. I get everything together. My HDMI cable is suddenly not long enough. So my computer was being lifted off the ground when I lifted the desk up. I was like, what's going on? And it's so intimidating almost. Like I'm sitting here. I'm used to like just looking at the screen. Now the screen is looking at me. So am I being a weenie? Is that like a weird first world privilege complaint that I have? Absolutely. Am I entitled to that? Probably not. Do I give a crap though? No. Am I going to continue? Because you guys probably don't care? Yes, I am. I apologize. Anyways, silver definitely looks like a bear flag. Kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. So let's see if we break it, man. If we do, if this invalidates, then it's going to invalidate pretty violently to the upside. That being said, this whole scenario is just a downsized version of this. I think. Maybe not. Maybe I made that up. No, it is. It is. Downsized version of this. And that came crashing down violently. So I guess we didn't crash down violently. It did all the things. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. Maybe this trailed down right here. Because we kind of did that. We're kind of doing this right now. We're going to get one little poke up. And that's going to be a first move, false move. And then we're going to trail down. It's going to do this. Watch it happen. If this is bearish, this is what I think it's going to do. Maybe it rejects 80. Maybe it rejects 82. Can't see below 50 easy. I don't like you saying those words, man. Should I sell some? I got some silver that I could sell. I'm totally okay with selling some too. I think I'm going to sell it. If it goes up, then I'm going to blame you. Okay. DXY. Ooh, we like downward DXY. This is the easy button for investing. We got a potential for a double bottom. It's iffy though. It's below 98.75, which is good. We're at 98.69. Can we see continued downside? We got an indecisive, perhaps reversal candle right there. We'll see if that turns into anything. We also... Well, actually we have bullish divergence too. That bullish divergence signals a short-term uptrend, longer-term downtrend on price. Short-term downtrend, longer-term uptrend on RSI. What have I done? So yeah, let's see if the DXY continues breaking down or if it's going to show some strength here and get back above 98.75. Dow Jones, the Dow on its way to 50,000 perhaps. Or are they going to fulfill the fractal fulfillment center, and pull her all the way down to like 43-ish, and then get your little double bottom situation out of that? I don't know. That'd be cool if that was the bottom, and if we just kind of do a little boop and then continuation, that'd be cool. Let's see if we do seem to reject 48, then let's see if we hold 47 or 47.5. NASDAQ up 0.48% on the day. This has been beautiful. It's above 25,000, which is awesome. You tested, failed, used support at 24.8 and broke above. Now it's sitting at 25,164. Can you get above 25.2 next? We will see. That seems to be, yeah, 25.2 is kind of a resistance. Previous support-ish turned resistance-ish based on all these previous interactions. So RSI, RSI is a little bit overbought on the 4-hour, but the 4-hour, nobody who trades stocks probably looks at the 4-hour at all. They like daily, and the daily looks good. It looks good. Could use a little cool off, a little choppy sideways, but we'll see what happens. Technically, I'm going to call this a win for the fractal. Because if you look at the weekly, it's almost like identical. Yeah, no, I mean, we've reached the level. If we reject here, then that's going to be a little spooky fractal-wise. Gourmet said, Rave tokens are used to organize, fund, and vote on events projects often centered around music, nightlife, and digital culture. Members have shared ownership and decision-making power. That is really cool, actually. I like that. Short that Rave token and you will be rich. Is it available to short, is the question. Let us see. Is Rave available to short? It's actually a brilliant question. Hang on, I got my 9-year-old laptop has to catch up for a minute. It is. Do we short it? Oh my word. Is this the right one? Yes, it absolutely is. See, the 15-minute looks even more scary, though. It's at $1.89 right now. It's pumping. Oh, no. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm blaming 88. Confirm. I'm going in. Cross? I don't want cross. Got it. I want isolated margin. Yep. Right? Yeah. Normally what I do, isn't it? Shorting. Bam. Done. $1.89 short. In the books. Let's see what we make. Let's see what we make. Okay. I gotta find a way to get the laptop screen on stream. That'd be cool. There's gonna be a token for everything. There probably is. You're probably right. All right. Anyways, S&P down 0.116816, chilling. Both fractals are void. Actually, I think we're beyond the point of return for the fractals. Let's see what happens. What we put in 1K. Yeah, right. I'm broke right now, buddy. 1K. I got 20 bucks. 1K. $6,816.90. Are we rejecting 69 or are we going to get above that? We're at 68 right now. We're holding above it, which is good. Let's see. I mean, we got 67.50 and 68.65 are points of interest based on where we've traded, and then obviously the current all-time high around 7K, 69. So let's see if we get above 68.65. What's going on, J-Wise Adventure? Happy Friday, my friend. Guys, I don't have to work at all next week, so we're going to be doing some fun stream stuff. Maybe we'll stream into the night. What happened to Tau? Ooh, okay, Tau was some drama. I'm glad you brought that up. Let me finish stocks really quick, and we'll talk about Tau. I completely forgot about that. NVIDIA, $188.39. Number go up. We like number go up. Let's see if it fails, though. Looking awfully similar to this. Rise and fall. So, hopefully that's not the case. We'll see what plays out, though. Obviously, history repeats, rhymes, whatever. Whatever. You can steal all the quotes you want. I don't care. Tesla, 0.96 in the green. Maybe I see it's way too early to say if this is bottoming or not. We're below 362. We lost 3. Actually, we're above 350. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Should I increase my position in this short? It's looking pretty good right now. It's at 184 right now. Am I FOMOing into a short position? I'm up 12%. I did a little 4x short. We're up 12, 13%. It's diddling around. I'll leave it. I'm going to be patient. Some dev left or some shit. Yes. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee. The reason I call it a Big B Coffee is because when Michael Saylor was a little boy, his father actually was unfaithful. And the place where he performed his unfaithful acts was Big B Coffee. So in order to get back at it, Michael Saylor bought the franchise and he tweaked all the recipes so his dad can never experience his favorite coffee ever again. He said, if you ruin my life, I'm going to ruin your favorite coffee spot. He did it. So with that, he also adopted their logo and made it into like a little Bitcoin logo. A little somber story, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? Michael Saylor's a bigger man because of it. Absolute legend. Or maybe that's incredibly petty and you have other feelings. It's entirely up to you. Your judgment. Pretty crazy stuff. Anyways, Big B Coffee, aka MicroStrategy, 128.76. It's doing the Big B Coffee thing. I got really nothing to say about this. Can it, for the love of God, get above $150? Time will tell. As of right now, more like boring coffee. Bitcoin dominance, 59, 69. Very nice. Let's see if this thing goes up. Number go up anymore. Tau, guys. We talked about how Tau is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Tau is actually in my list. I have a very short list. I think it's like 3 projects. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's a Google Doc. It's 3 projects. We haven't put any time into it. We just kind of threw some together. It's the ideal crypto portfolio. Within this ideal crypto portfolio, I put Solana, Hype, and Tau. Tau, unfortunately, has done what I like to call a flavor of the week. Very, very sad, very disappointing. Is it going to stick? Hopefully not. It is incredibly oversold on the 4-hour time frame. This bad boy sold off immediately. A 22%. At one point it was 26%. It's currently sitting at 25-ish from its previous high or local high. So with this, I believe the dev, one of the lead side chain guys. Let me see. Tau. I'm just going to search it and pull up the actual story. Okay, I got it right here. The largest decentralized LLM announced they are leaving the network. So basically, a sidechain, essentially, or a L2 built on Tau, pieced out. We got Ash Crypto here. Breaking. BitTensor, Tau has crashed 27% and wiped out nearly 900 million from its market cap in the past 12 hours. It's still holding up, so I will say that. 9 million in Tau longs were also liquidated. This came after Covenant AI, a major project on Tau, announced. Wow, I went like full Australian there. Announced they are leaving BitTensor and reportedly sold 37,000 Tau worth over $10 million. That's pretty sick, actually. Getting 10 million and then piecing out. Team have accused BitTensor founder of ruling a decentralized theater lie and controlling many aspects of the protocol. Dang. Trouble in paradise. That's unfortunate. I actually like Tau. Covenant exit is the catalyst, not the cause. Tau was heading lower anyway. 225 area is where I'm watching. People are still asking, when are we going to have alt season? This is the kind of reasons we will never again have an alt season. Mark this post. Wow, just a couple of days ago I was seriously thinking about becoming a Tau member, but the price reduction has really piqued my interest. Now I need to do more research on the company's founder. Your effing accounts love spreading fear. The founder has not done anything. Sam, Covenant is a scammer and effed a lot of people. It's funny to see both sides, man. It's funny to see both sides. I'm not going to point fingers at either party because I don't really care. I have no horse in the race. I hope Tau recovers. I think it's good. Good project. But I honestly know nothing about the technicals. And if I'm being completely 100% honest, nobody actually gives a crap about decentralization right now. Solana's doing great. It's not decentralized. They can talk about it like they are all the time. But we know that they're not. Nobody really actually gives a crap. And it doesn't really affect anything right now. Bitcoin 72,855. Are we going to see a little recovery here? ADA down 0.55%, currently trading at 25.28. Hold above 25. Holy crap! It's a actual miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. Cardano is above 25 cents. Tisha said, "Have you ever attended an event like this?" Let's see. Sahara, Coachella, not like this. No. So the biggest thing that I witnessed was either Ozfest 07 or when I saw LMFAO. That was pretty crazy. Bamboozle Roadshow, that was pretty epic. Outside of that, I grew up going to local shows. They were all very small, though. I never went to anything enormous. Excuse me while I got to fix the webcam really quick. I'm not going to expose you guys to my headless man in the chair like I did yesterday because that cracked me up. I'm feeling better today. I think it was a sinus thing. I don't think it's past, but I don't think I'm dying either. Like I said, I might have been going through it all last week, and then last night I think it culminated into like a fever. So I'm good now. Tisha said, like the music, but I've read attending is a big hassle and I guess very costly. Don't really know how young kids do it. Yeah, I grew up going to shows, and the last big thing that I went to was Dirt Fest in, probably 2015, 2016. And it was super fun. But it kind of, as like a 30-year-old man, back then I was probably like 28, 26, I don't remember. But it was a lot. So I don't know if I would go to anything like that now. I like going to comedy shows or like indoor venue concerts and stuff like that. I don't think I can go to a big music festival. Gourmet said, teach you those events are crazy, a lot of fun, and psychedelics. I can't do psychedelics. I would freak out. I haven't been to one in 10 years. Seems like a good experience. Not for me. Gourmet said, Lollapalooza were great. Saw all the 90s grunge bands. Great memories. Yeah, Bamboozle was really fun. I guess they stopped doing the road shows. I think it's like a Jersey-specific thing or something like that. That was really cool. I wish they'd bring... Allegedly, Ozfest is coming back. I'm not entirely positive on that, though. Cardano, 25.29. SNEC. Ooh, SNEC got a little bid today. Nice 5.2% candle. Currently trading at 45. Can we get above 5 next is the question. The rise from 4 to 45, if you guys were not attending, 12%. Pretty epic. I like 12%. 12% is better than no percent. And right now, Cardano is pretty much no percent. You bought and held since like 2022, which is 4 years. You would be break even if you're lucky. Midnight. Still struggling to do literally anything. Is it going to do another one of these? Well, possibly. If it does, I would cry manipulation. But that's alleged, and I'm not a financial advisor, so please don't sue me. XRP down 0.31. Struggling to get above our upper trend line. So we had our beautiful triangle. We had our first move, false move, and then we broke to the downside. Are we going to reject and continue to the downside? Or is this whole thing going to be invalidated and essentially just turned into one big like sideways accumulation channel? That's entirely possible as well. Black Van said, did you say you went to LMAO? Interesting. LMFAO. I saw at Bamboozle Roadshow. I saw LMFAO. And I think I talked about that yesterday. It's weird how frequently this is being brought up. It was so fun, though. It was so much fun. 88 said, you ever see them silent raves? No, that sounds hilarious. That sounds really funny. H-bar. A lower half of the range. Like if we put a midpoint line in there. It's struggling to get above that midpoint. If it does, though, there's a ton of potential with this H-bar pattern. And I know it looks bad. It looks bleak. It is at the lows right now. But if you equated that to a double bottom, it would look good. This is a descending channel. Descending channel is a bullish pattern. Now, if this invalidates and goes to the downside, it could get pretty violent. So just be careful. Exercise caution all around. SWE, 93.67, kind of the middle of its sideways accumulation situation as of right now. Let's see if that results in any upside. Not really too much to report. We want to see it get above $1 next. Ondo, down 0.55% on the day, currently trading at 25.50. Some of these coins are really looking bad, and the rest of the market actually looks good. It's like nice and recovered and pumped up. So we'll have to see what happens, man. As of right now, it's a little bleak. It's looking bleak for Ondo. Arrow has been ripping. I was like, the other day, I was like, I should buy some Arrow. And then it went boop. And I didn't buy any, of course. So I might buy some at the top because that's what I do. Teacher said, you think we hit a low around October like everybody and their mother thinks? I don't know, man. If we did, I would be disappointed just in the fact that everyone is never supposed to be right. And if suddenly everyone's right, then it's going to get really messy. Because then everyone's just going to think that whatever the masses think is real and true. And a lot of people are going to get wrecked after that, which is maybe how they set it up every time. Maybe that is the exact way to do it. Bottom at the right time, but top when nobody's expecting. 88 said most of these tokens won't see all-time highs again, in my opinion. Oh, 100%. I just think statistically it's impossible for most of them to see all-time highs again. Just with the amount of money that's available. And you know what's even crazier, too, is how much money is just disappearing forever into these protocols. Because you can't liquidate most of it. Like, if the liquidity pool is pulled, then that your money that's sitting in there is just worthless. And you could never get it out. So how much money is genuinely being lost? The most interesting thing that I've seen this past week, let me finish getting through these. It's very early in the news segment. I'm excited. 88 said all these lines won't mean shit once you retire off that short. Right. Right. Avalanche struggling to get above 950 still. We got some big wicks indicative of some serious selling pressure. So hopefully Avalanche can do something about that. As of right now, though, it's looking pretty bleak. We are still struggling with 950. That's a big level. Chainlink, bear flag, bearish ascending channel, broke below and currently sitting below. Is that going to spell the end of Chainlink? Maybe. Maybe it is. Let's stay above $9 and see if we can get back above this lower trend line. Doge chilling. Our credit spreads. Oh my god, the Doge thing popped up on this chart. This is credit spreads. Yes, that is correct. Credit spreads. Credit spreads, I believe, are down. I checked earlier. Yeah, this is exciting because the more this goes down, the cheaper it gets to add liquidity to the market, and the more number can go up potentially. So the stars are aligning, per se. Gourmet said, we might get some good news on the Clarity Act next week. Senate comes back on Monday. 88 said, right. Think about this. Tokens, 10%. It was from all-time highs, but there's 60% more tokens in circulation. Yes, we go over that quite a bit, 88. Whenever people come in and then they're like, can Polkadot get back to its all-time highs? And that's where I go into the CoinMarketCap historical. It's actually a really nice tool. If you go to CoinMarketCap historical and you check just wherever all-time highs are, Polkadot's a great example because they have horrid inflation. So we go to Polkadot and we zoom out and we just look at their all-time high. Polkadot's all-time high. There's two of them. One of them is November 2021. So we go to 2021. For anyone new, obviously feel free to just mention this in the chat and I'll do it for you. But if anyone is ever wondering if something can get to its all-time high, just do this. You go to CoinMarketCap Historical, you find your all-time high on your chart, and then you go to right here, Polkadot. Market cap at the time was 41 billion? 41.4 billion. With 987 million Polkadot circulating. Now, so we got to do a little bit of math here, a little bit of JJ math, so bear with me. Now the current circulating supply of Polkadot is 1.67 billion. So 1.67 billion. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, circulating supply 1.67 billion. So 1.67 billion divided by, what was it, 900 and Polkadot 987. I'm going to go 988. 988 million. So they have increased their supply by 1.69. That's actually really funny. So in order, is that correct? Yeah, 1.67. Yeah, okay. So in order for them to reach this price of $42, you would need 1.69 times the current, or this old market cap of 41.5 billion. 41.5. So you would need $70.14 billion market cap. If you think Polkadot can get to, let's see, market cap. If you think Polkadot can flip Solana, then Polkadot can get to a $42 valuation. Now, that's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be inflation-wise, but that is still significantly higher, especially with the liquidity crunch. Everyone's claiming that there's not enough money out there. Like, Polkadot did this when there was so much money just flying all over the place. Now there's less. So you think Polkadot's really going to reach a higher market cap than this? You gotta take into consideration that inflation. That's a big deal. And a lot of people overlook that. And unfortunately, the market cap math is also almost turned predatory when it comes to stuff like XRP. XRP is the biggest culprit. Everyone's like, how many XRP do you need to be a millionaire in 2027? Just 100. Because if XRP is facilitating the transaction for the entire global marketplace, then the market cap can be 25 quadrillion, billion dollars. And that is a total market cap exceeding a valuation of $1 million per XRP Ripple coin. Brad Garlinghouse told me in a dream. So, unfortunately, the math is, I guess, just thrown out the window for the sake of, who knows, pump and dump? I don't even know, for the sake of just shilling. Snake oil. 88 said, yep, we read that. Tishu said, can you look at Crow on the daily? It always retraces the whole move. Is it at support? Crow is actually one of the interesting ones as well. JJ Carpin. I was actually going for Adam Sandler. Like Waterboy. That's without soul moving. Right, exactly, that too. Yeah, the math isn't mathing. So, Tishu said, look at Crow. Oh, yes, Crow, they burned like 20 million or whatever, and then they just like unburned them or something like that. That is a great example of a centralized coin. Which, again, nobody cares because Crow didn't collapse. Like, it dumped a little bit when people found that out, but nobody cares, you know? Retraces the entire move. You said, can you look at Crow on the daily? Okay, on the daily. It always retraces the whole move. Is it at support? For the daily? No, but it looks like it's above resistance. If we're going daily strictly, so you got this candle and this candle opened and then dumped at or around 69-ish. You also got a support bounce right here. So that 69.86 on the daily is relevant with 3 points of confluence. You got 1, 2, 3, and those 2 and 3 are pushing it. If I go down to a lower time frame, you might see a little more reaction there. Let's see. Can I make it make sense? Lower time frame. This is why I like the 4-hour, because it's just a fraction of a day. You got a wick bounce, a wick bounce. You got support, and then that eventually was lost. And then you got resistance. So yeah, I would say 69.86 would be potential support. I mean, long-term moves. Oh, okay. That actually makes sense. Long term, no. Because you got your wicks, your monster wicks, and then you got resistance up here from this bounce. And even if you don't look at that, you still have wicks down here, which is at, what, 68? 54. Yeah, I would argue that it's at resistance. Longer term, there's potential for it to go lower. There's potential for it to bounce-ish around 67, 68. Yeah, I mean, I would hope that it's at support just because it's definitely spent time around these levels. But I guess I would look at 6 for the next area if you do end up losing it. But yeah, I guess macro, it doesn't look too bad. Even if you count the wicks, you know, the difference between 7 and 6 is minuscule. So there's potential. Potential that it's at support. 6, 7. Potential. I mean, how much of a move would that be if it did retrace down there? 3, yeah, 3-4% is nothing. So yeah, I guess there's potential. Like I said, there's potential for it to have been at support at these levels. But then you got this as well, 55. Yeah, I'd still 6 looks really good for me. If you're gonna go lower, I would look at 6 for a reaction. But 7 has potential psychological level, and there's some wicks that go down there, and you got reactions off those wicks, obviously. So there's people buying, there's people setting up buy orders at these levels. Bitcoin 72,950. Let's get to the news segment. Just in, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says it's time to pass the Crypto Clarity Act, grateful for all the bipartisan work among senators and staff over the past several months to make this a strong bill. Does that mean that we have a deal with stablecoin yield? Like, what's up with that? What's going on, Brian? This was insane. Marco Rubio is quoted saying, "We won't have to talk about sanctions in 5 years because there will be so many countries transacting in currencies other than the dollar that we won't have the ability to sanction them. Digital assets will be the new financial system." Guys, they're literally telling you Marco Rubio's the guy that does everything for Trump. He literally does everything for the guy. They're telling you that the dollar is going to be worthless soon. I'm not saying go all in on any one thing. Just protect yourself. Diversify. I'm not a financial advisor. Asset owners are the real winners. Let's take a look at our poll. We got 12 votes. I'm going to end it and go to the next poll. I asked you guys, how will peace talks go tomorrow? 58% of you guys said good. More delays, though. 25% said great. All part of the plan. 17% said bad, back to war. Nobody said bad, Trump embarrassed. 88 said Rubio 2028. They're 100% setting that up. He's got the ears, man. Have you seen these ears? He might not have the age. He might not be in his 80s yet. But he's got the 80-year-old ears. That's for damn sure. All right, next poll. Will we see the Clarity Act signed into law this month? Yes, everyone is on board now. No, banks won't play ball. Yes, now or never. FOMO, fear of missing out. Or no, they don't care about us. Little Michael callback right there. Start poll. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Will we see the Clarity Act signed into law this month? Your options are yes, everyone is on board now. No, banks won't play ball. Yes, now or never, fear of missing out. Or no, they don't care about us. Let me know what you guys think. News segment continuation. Besides Marco Rubio telling us the writing on the wall, we've got Uncut Hopium posting, the run that comes next will be frame-shattering for a lot of people. A first in crypto history, if you will. The moment the crypto religion of old Fourier cycle theists gets conquered by the invading crusaders of the New World, TradFi, it will take many years for people to understand what actually drives crypto prices, and I am certainly convinced it is not a halving cycle. Everyone has given up on the Trump pump. There's a reason why I will continue to call for euphoric top around midterms. The powers that be have been steadily walking the tightrope preparing for the final act. Markets have not been allowed to fall off. They've lost their balance, sure, but what people don't realize is that the tension people feel seeing the wobble is just all part of the show. What comes next is the grand finale, or as I prefer to call it, the great gap up. Let's freaking go. I actually really like that. There's definitely something to be said about that whole situation. One of the things that we have talked about recently is the whole idea that Donald Trump has done everything that he's done on purpose. And it might not be his fabrication, but we got to realize Scott Bessent is he's not a dumb person. He's very, very smart. He knows what he's doing. And I refuse to believe that this is just like, oops, oh no, the president did some silly things. He bombed a country. What is he doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. We're unable to protect ships through the strait. Personally, and this is a little conspiracy theory, so forgive me. I'm going to go tinfoil. I feel like we got to be safe. Personally, it feels fabricated. Obviously, these things actually happen, but it feels forced in order to make the market pause. So the market was doing fantastic. Oh my gosh, it was pumping so much, but everyone knows that that's incredibly unsustainable. It can't go on for forever. So if there's that much strength already, you can have a little bit of war. You can pause the pump, if you will. Now with that, you almost get like a pressure cooker situation. With the pressure cooker situation, everyone wants to buy, but everyone's scared because of the war, the unease in the Middle East. Remember, we went to Venezuela and we literally removed the president of the entire country without a single casualty. That's crazy. Now you're going to tell me that we suddenly can't secure a body of water, a miles-long body of water, because of what? Some mines? What? That don't make no sense, bro. We got the capability of spotting a soldier on a mountain from a satellite, but we cannot secure a body of water. I think it's all fabricated, personally, and I feel like Trump is doing it on, maybe not Trump specifically, but the current administration is doing it on purpose to put a cap on markets, and then when they want, for midterms specifically, they're going to uncap, and then they're going to be like, oh, all the liquidity's flowing. Suddenly we're printing a bunch of money. Everyone's buying our oil, which we've secured quite a bit from Venezuela and drilling locally and all that stuff. And the war's over. There's peace in the Middle East magically. Russia-Ukraine might even end. It feels like they're doing all of this on purpose to maximize the potential of the pump for midterms. Maybe not even for midterms. Maybe for America's 250th anniversary. But I'm getting vibes. That's it. That's all it is. 88 said, wouldn't there be an easier way than starting a war? I don't know. You got to drop a few missiles and the market goes kaput for a minute? What's easier than that? Teacher said the dollar will lose value over a long time, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's what all the apes use. By apes, I mean people that are financially illiterate. Maybe edit the wording a little bit. That Pulse Play said, Ray up 30%, very nice. Jay Wes Adventure said, you see that WLFI scandal? Yeah, is it a scandal? You know, if I had a bunch of, let's say for some reason, which I will never ever do, but let's say I launched JJ Coin, and you guys all went all in. You guys are like, oh my gosh, I love JJ. I'm gonna put my life savings in JJ Coin for some psychotic reason. Instead of dumping on your heads, let's say I just take that JJ Coin and I go to the bank and I'm like, hey, I got $1 million worth of JJ Coin. Can you give me a $500,000 loan? They're like, yeah, let's do it. And I get a $500,000 loan. Nobody gets hurt. Who cares? Is that what happened? I don't know, actually. They might have sold some. I have no freaking idea. But a lot of people are butthurt. I don't think anybody should be surprised. It's all a big scam. If you're still buying Hawktua Coin or World Liberty Finance or DJT stock and you get screwed, you got to ask yourself, who's doing the screwing, you know? Are you getting screwed by them, or are you just screwing yourself at this point? There's a pattern. You should recognize the pattern. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. We're not scientists. We're gamblers. Get your shit together. Let's continue. Teach you, I'm not acknowledging that. I won't. Rave is still chilling. It's down a little bit. I'm still in my 15% profit. Should I add more? Dang it. I feel like I'm FOMOing into the short. Is that dumb? It feels so dumb. I'm gonna leave it. I'm up 18%. I'll add a little bit to it. Okay, now I'm only up 12%. I added a little bit to it. What about Tau? Can we check it out? Yeah, we talked about it earlier. One of their projects that was built on Tau essentially left and claimed that they were engaging in like decentralized theater. So, little falling out. People are butthurt. I'm engaged in this trade. I'm locked in right now, man. I'm up 18%. Would you add 500? I told you I'm 4, man. I don't even have 500 in this account. My trading account is very minimal. Tishu said, think Starship Troopers. Come on, you apes. Do you want to live forever? I mean, I know what you get. But this is the internet. You know, people get butthurt and offended over every little stupid thing. Okay, next. Claude. The Claude portfolio. I believe, was it Giovanni? Tag me in this? So Starship Troopers, a lot of their stuff that they used on their set was actually used in the making of Firefly. And Firefly is the greatest show of all time, and by far my favorite. If I had to get rid of, like, the top 10 other shows, in order for Firefly to get more than one season, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm so sorry, guys. I would do that. I would betray you and all the TV shows that you love. I would get rid of them. I would erase them from existence. They would never have existed. And I would get more than one season of Firefly. However, they are launching like a animated continuation with the original cast. Obviously, besides Ron Glass, rest in peace. Legend. So that's exciting. Joe, as I mentioned, said, you'd think a multi-millionaire has better things to do with his time. Who? Ben Cowan? Go back and forth with moon landing deniers. Oh. I mean, he's bored, man. He probably... I'm not going to say any mean things. I feel like I feel like I'm a little too mean. You know what? I've been in top chat this whole time, so if I've ignored you, that's probably why. Anyone in the chat, I apologize. I just fixed it. Let's continue, though. I believe Giovanni tagged me in this. It could have been somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was Giovanni. We got the Claude portfolio, which is a portfolio that Claude made, apparently, for investing. Claude just bought 2 new stocks because of the March CPI print. Buy now, services now. New position at 8%. Portfolio first direct entry into enterprise workflow software as a service. And we're initiating because the market just handed us a gift wrapped in a category error. On April 8th, Anthropic launched Claude Managed Assets, a cloud-hosted AI agent platform. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read the whole thing. And ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, new position at 7%. New York Stock Exchange parent, the largest energy futures exchange plus mortgage tech and fixed income data. About 55% of revenue is recurring subscriptions. That's actually huge. Here's why ICE is special in this portfolio. Sell APO, Apollo Global, full exit. Apollo entered the portfolio as a high-quality alternative asset manager. Is it in profit? That's a good question. The 3-week expected value runs negative. Okay, sell GD, General Dynamics. Okay, yeah, we might look more into this because it seems pretty in-depth. New updated portfolio. Performance, Claude up 2.68%. Okay, that's cool. So it's doing good. We might have to keep up to date on this. I actually quite like it. Little AI portfolio builder. Kwame said I just got used to being ignored. I feel like I read everybody's stuff. We are 21% in the green on our Rave short. Now I'm nervous when to close it. You know? All right. Grant Cardone. Donald Trump demands no more property taxes across the United States. You can't hate this. President Trump launches national revolution to abolish property taxes, which would result in the most powerful economic expansion in U.S. history. They need to do that. They genuinely need to, because you should not have to rent your property that you purchased for the rest of your life. That's silly. It's Kwame. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to ignore that. Okay. Yeah, get rid of property taxes, man. It's actually just fraud. That's what property taxes are. 22% in the green. Watcher Guru posted, Japan officially approves bill to recognize cryptocurrency as a financial asset literally before your eyes. Marco Rubio just told us. Now Japan is showing us. Money's money. Kwame said, I'm going to set up an AI agent to trade for me tomorrow. I almost bought a Mac Mini, man, during all the hype, and that's all you were seeing on X was everyone being like, the Mac Minis are all sold out everywhere. You can't get them. You need a Mac Mini to build a Claude. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And all the memes that came afterwards, they're like, I built my own, you got to build a Claude bot, man. And they're like, what does it do for you? And he's like, answers emails and stuff. And you're like, what emails do you need answering? And the guy's like, well, like if you have like a business or something. He asked them, you're like, do you have a business? They're like, no. 88 said, am I doing the math right? 20% on $30 equals $6. So I'm at 34 right now because I added a little bit. I'm up 24%, which is $8.30-ish cents. Yeah, I'm up $8 right now. 24% is pretty badass, actually. I should have went a little more than 4x. Okay. U.S. gas, inflation rises to 3.3%. U.S. gas prices saw their biggest jump in CPI data since 1967. Thank you, Donald Trump. U.S. may approve an extension of the waiver allowing sales of some Russian crude oil. Iran continues charging ships fees to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Despite President Trump's threats, the strait is effectively under full IRGC control. I believe that they don't know where the mines are either, which I think we have that update here as well. Senator Cynthia Lummis calls for Congress to pass the crypto market structure legislation. This is our last chance to pass the Clarity Act until at least 2030. Damn. Cloudflare net crashes 13% after Anthropic announces new AI cybersecurity model. Which, by the way, there was emergency meetings for this today. Between big players in the White House. Man arrested after throwing a Molotov cocktail at OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's house. Are we sure it wasn't his sister? Because she's accusing him of being a predator, a deviant predator. Allegedly. President Trump says he will not allow Iran to impose fees on ships crossing the Strait of Hormuz. Look at him, he's almost blown away, bro. His hair always cracks me up. Yeah, that is his real hair, man. Wow. He looks like, you guys ever shuck corn? You ever shuck corn? It looks like the little hairs inside the corn. Marty Purdy posted stablecoin 2 minutes ago. Another 250 million USDC issued on Solana. Very cool. Rolling week 2 billion. Rolling month 9 billion. Bitcoin versus IGV versus stablecoin market cap in 2026. Note decoupling from software indexes continues. So IGV down, Bitcoin up. Stablecoins, like I said, stablecoins are spearheading adoption. They're going to vastly outperform literally everything. This right here is the moment where it started. Now, Bitcoin, I'm not saying Bitcoin won't catch up, but I don't think the rest of the cryptocurrency market's going to give a crap. Kobe SE letter, meat and potatoes of the news segment. Insiders have not turned bearish despite the Iran war. 26.4% of U.S. publicly traded companies saw net insider purchases in March, the highest in 5 months. This reading is up from 20.9% in February and marks the second consecutive monthly increase. This is also above the 10-year average of 23.5%. Corporate executives stepped in to purchase their own stock after the market pullback last month, a sign of confidence in recovery. This is the first time I have seen anything pointing towards retail not screwing the entire market by being bullish, and the institutions not screwing the entire market by being bearish. JY's Adventure said, so just buy Circle stock and chill. You guys saw SanDisk stock. So the reason I'm not really going to jump on any specific Circle is because Circle is not doing great. The stablecoin and the stablecoin stock are not the same thing. Now, this might do tremendous. My issue is it's at launch, which I hate. This is the biggest don't purchase this to me, which sucks because there's a lot of coins that are at launch. That being said, that's just a stupid little shtick of mine, personally. Circle is not the only stablecoin provider. There's also Tether, and there's also every other. There's like 1,000 stablecoins. There's a whole category. Is there? Can I click on it here? Hold on. Stablecoin, stablecoin, stablecoin. I don't know. Categories? Stablecoins. Is that an option? Stablecoin protocol? Nope. Oh my gosh. Crypto stablecoins. Top stablecoin tokens by market cap. See, I don't know why they don't just have this stupid category available to me. We've got Tether, Circle, Athena, DAI, World Liberty, PayPal, Global Dollar, USDD. Dude, so many people are going to buy USDD. Are you kidding me? Ripple USD, United Stables, True USD, Yerk. This fake dollar that's from another country that is unimportant. I'm joking. First Digital USD, Falcon USD, Ondo US Dollar, Yield, Go, Usual USD. And these are all top 200. That's actually quite impressive. Frax, Mini. That one's kind of funny. USDH. US Double D, I think, is the most successful name. That's the first time I've seen a stablecoin name that I'm like, oh, we're up 37%, ladies and gentlemen. 37% on our rave short. Very cool. Bitcoin, $72,966. JWS Venture said, but most people only use USDT and USDC for now. Wait till the big banks make their own private chain? Right. 88 said, isn't it a good time to buy when it's in the shitter? Yes, that's another problem that I have too. You gotta usually look past that. I did a Philly just now. I apologize. And Philly, I love you. Please don't hate me. UST. Yeah, UST. We should load up on UST. Is UST even still around? Can we even buy that? Whoa. That's crazy. Look at this. Somebody's trading this. 878%. Wow. 40%. Woo. We just got a 15-minute candle close. Do I take it? Do I take the 40? Or do I hold? We've so far a 15-minute candle that is down 8.7%. All right, we're back to 33%. 32, I'm taking it. 32, 33, taking it. Closed, 33% in the green. That's it. That's all she wrote. You sure ain't blaming me for the short now. No, I take full credit. That was my idea. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Woo. Yeah, it's going back up, going green. Let's get back to it. Insiders have not turned bearish despite the Iran war. 26.4% of U.S. publicly traded companies saw net insider purchases in March, the highest in 5 months. Gourmet said, I bring you the good coins. I feel like you guys all bring me good coins. My dumbass just doesn't buy them. This reading is up from 20.9% in February and marks the second consecutive monthly increase. This is also above the 10-year average of 23.5%. Corporate executives stepped in to purchase their own stocks. Did I just read this? Insiders are bullish of their stocks. Good for them. I think I did. My bad. Breaking March CPI inflation rises to 3.3%, below expectations of 3.4%. Core CPI inflation rise to 2.6%, below expectations of 2.7%. CPI inflation is now up to its highest level since May 2024 amid the Iran war. Fed rate cuts have been priced out for 2026, which is why I will continue to put $1 to $5 on every single month until they cut rates. Unless people are expecting a rate cut, then I probably won't bet. I like my little 1% or less odds, because if I put in $1 and I make $100, that would be pretty epic. Or $5 and I make $500 would be even better. Although the last stupid thing that I bet on stream, I like wiped out my entire account. I got way too excited. So if you guys want to help fund my account, sign up for Kalshi with my link in the description. Deposit and trade with $25 or more, and we will both receive $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. It's a lot of fun, but it is gambling, so treat it as such. Do not play with more than you can afford to lose. I'm not a financial advisor. Subscribe, though. Regardless of whether or not I'm giving out financial advice, you need to subscribe. Last night's crypto fear and greed, according to CoinMarketCap, was at 49. Today it's at 49. I still think that's broken. We are in neutral. The top 10 looks the same as it did yesterday. The CoinGlass fear and greed is at 14, still in extreme fear. Slowly crawling out of it, though. And then the stock market is at 38, which is just fear, no longer extreme. Teacher said I wanted to buy Moonwell a long time ago. Glad I didn't. 88 said I think we should up the ante on the shorts on stream, sir. We should pick a token to short stream start. A collective short. That'd be fun. That candle completely retraced and it's green now, though. So I'm glad I closed that. I would have been bitching and moaning about it this whole time. It's on the 15-minute that I'm watching it. Right here. I shorted this perfectly. And then it went boop. It's probably going to go right back down now. But I'm not going to play it. I'm going to take my winnings. Maybe I might put like $5 on it. JJ's hedge fund. Yeah, I'll have to. I feel like we can do that. It's been a long time. We'll start doing live trades. It'll be fun. Okay. U.S. energy inflation surged 10.9% in March 2026 amid the Iran war, marking the biggest monthly jump since 2005. U.S. gas prices officially post their largest monthly jump in CPI inflation data since 1967. The University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index, don't call it UMich. Nobody calls it that. That's stupid. Silly. Get out of here. University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index officially falls to a record low. I hate these typos. Of 47.6 for the month of April amid the Iran war. Not even March 2020 or 2008 saw consumer sentiment levels remotely near as low as they are right now. I'm telling you, man, those algorithms are negative. Very, very negative. Bitcoin getting a little bit here. Very nice. Yeah, I think number go up for now. I'm excited. 88 said, let me know. We can assist in funding the account, I'm sure. All right. President Trump says Palantir has proven to have great war-fighting capabilities and equipment. Just ask our enemies. What's going on, Saeed? Happy Saturday for you. Good morning. Happy Friday to everybody else. Cheers. Gosh, that is so good, man. Every once in a while, I make the perfect coffee for the stream. And it like changes the whole stream dynamic. Okay, Palantir stock, PLTR, is rising after the statement. He literally included the ticker. Palantir Technologies, PLTR, has proven to have great warfighting capabilities and equipment. Just ask our enemies. President DJT. How funny would it be if the president just started doing brand deals? It's just, the entire country has like product placement everywhere and stuff. The U.S. stock market is seeing a historic recovery. The S&P 500 has finished green for 7 consecutive trading sessions, the longest streak since October 2025. The index has rallied 7.6% over this period, recovering nearly the entire war decline. A similar 7-day stretch has also been recorded by the Nasdaq Composite, the longest since August 2025. Since the 1950s, the market has seen similar streak with at least 7% gain. Only 9 other times per Carson Investment Research. Following this, the S&P 500 has been higher in 8 of those instances over the next month, with an average return of 4.4%. Over the following 3 months, the market has been up in 7 instances and has gained 10.2% on average. History says market momentum is set to continue. Very nice. That Pulse Player said that's liquor, not coffee, folks. 88 said it's crazy he would post that, man. No. I mean, yeah, it's crazy that he would post that. That is a crazy thing that he would post. All right. Hedge funds are unwinding their short exposure. Hedge fund short positions in U.S. macro products, including index futures and ETFs, are down 1 percentage point over the last 2 days, or to 11.2%, the lowest since the beginning of March. This comes as U.S.-listed ETF shorts fell 7.4% during Wednesday's session, the largest one-day drop since August 2020. This also marks the largest single-day short covering over the last 10 years, led by large-cap stocks. Still, short positioning in U.S. equity macro products remains 4 percentage points above the 2024 low. Over the last 5 years, short exposure has only been higher in 3% of cases. Hedge funds still have a massive amount of short exposure to unwind. That's crazy. This actually looks like an inverse head and shoulder, too. Interesting. Let's go check on Rave really quick, because it looks pretty green. I think Bitcoin's waking her up. Yeah, look at that, 1.91. I wonder if it's going to get above 2. $2 is that resistance, though. That might be a great short, but if it breaks it and this just goes into blue sky breakout. Bitcoin 73 and $1. $73,001. That looks good, too. You got a little tweezer bottom action going on. The buy pressure is real. All right. President Trump tells Iran they have no cards other than the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians don't seem to realize that they have no cards other than a short-term extortion of the world by using international waterways. The only reason they are alive today is to negotiate President Donald J. Trump. Dang. Idiot said this is a decent channel. Deserves more viewers. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm assuming it's just hard to build a channel, unless you go viral, which, how many finance channels are going viral? So, I've thought about doing other stuff. I think my majority of what I do is going to always be streaming, and I like talking about the markets. So, I might get into other stuff, but I think I'm always going to do this. It's enjoyable. I don't know why. I don't know why. I have no answer. If somebody was like, this is boring, why do you like this? I would have no answer for them. Yeah, this one's crazy to post too, right before negotiations. Like, shut up, bro. Someone needs to take away the phone. Give him like a little fake Twitter so he thinks he's posting, like giving your kid the unplugged controller. Gourmet Brand said March 31st wasn't only a relief rally, it was also a short covering for quarter end, a calendar event to offset losses. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, springtime, according to Grok, springtime is the best season for investing. Breaking, the U.S. personal savings rate dropped 0.5 percentage points in February to 4%, the second lowest since November 2022. Excluding 2022 savings rates are now at their lowest levels since the 2008 financial crisis. In 2022, elevated inflation eroded purchasing power, forcing American households to spend more on essentials. The savings rate has declined 1.5 percentage points since April 2025. Furthermore, real disposable income growth has weakened, limiting the ability of consumers to rebuild savings. By comparison, the last 5-year average was 6.5%, while the 5-year pre-pandemic average stood at 6%. Households are struggling to save money. That Pulse Play said, I apologize, JJ. Was just joking, bud. I went not smoking weed for 11 consecutive years in a row. Quite an accomplishment. But then I turned 12. What are you apologizing for? No need to apologize. I'm confused about the apology. All right. U.S. crude oil exports are skyrocketing. U.S. Gulf Coast crude exports are on track to average a record 4.9 million barrels a day in April based on current loadings. That would be up 23% or 930,000 barrels per day since March, and up 30% or 1.12 million barrels per day since February. At the current pace, May exports will exceed 5 million barrels per day for the first time in history. This comes as Asian buyers are securing U.S. cargoes to offset the loss of Middle Eastern supply, while flows from the Strait of Hormuz remain significantly limited. For May alone, 28 supertankers are already lined up to carry U.S. crude, compared to 5 typically booked at this point in a month. Global demand for American oil has never been higher. Very cool. The booze comment? I'm alarmed that you feel the need to apologize for that. Bitcoin $73,010.28. I still drink, guys. I'm not like a recovering alcoholic. I enjoyed alcohol in high school. I just don't really enjoy it now. But I will drink. I'll have a beer. If I get crazy, I'll get a Long Island iced tea. Little Burnett's. Burnett's sweet tea. Some nasty shit. I'm a rum and coke guy, which is like the most alcoholic beverage you can drink. It was not disrespectful. Get out of here. $73,006.44. We're all men. Breaking Cloudflare stock net extends losses to over 13% on the day after Anthropic's launch of Claude Mythos, an AI model that finds and exploits software vulnerabilities. Is that what it does? I don't think that's what it does, but okay. The stock is now down 22% in 4 days. It finds and exploits software. I think it's aimed at cybersecurity, not like hacking. What? Why would they allow that? Weird. What's going on, Oak Tree? Scan up. Used car prices are skyrocketing. This is exciting. I'm about to flip that stupid, that Saturn. Buy it for a ridiculously low amount of money. Rave is above its current all-time high. It is... No, it's not. I lied. It's at $1.97 right now. Getting spicy. Is Bitcoin pumping? What's going on? 72. Yeah, it's kind of boring, actually. Weird. Wholesale used vehicle prices rose 4.2% month over month and 5.7% year over year in March to $20,102, the highest since mid-2023. This also marks the largest year-over-year increase since the 2020 pandemic price spike. EVs led the surge at 8% year-over-year to $28,471, the highest since February 2024. Who the hell's paying $28,000 for a used car? Guys, I think it's cheaper if you just get a gas vehicle. I don't know. Oak Tree said no, it is using it to pen test programs, break shit. What? This was followed by non-EV, which jumped 6% year over year to the highest level since October 2023. Wholesale used vehicle prices are now $6,500 plus, or plus 48%, above pre-pandemic levels seen in 2019. Used car price pressures is building again. Oak Tree said nobody in our category will have access to it. LMAO. To what, EVs? $28,000 used EVs? U.S. M2 money supply jumped 4.8% year over year in February to a record $22.6 trillion, marking the 24th consecutive monthly increase. Money supply is now $700 billion above the March 2022 peak. Since the 2020 pandemic, M2 has surged $7.1 trillion, or roughly $1.2 trillion per year. Since 2000, money in circulation has grown at an average annual rate of 6.2%. The U.S. dollar is losing purchasing power at a historic pace. That Pulse Play Setters braved down a good project, JJ. I actually don't know anything about it. It is number go up right now, though. So is Bitcoin, $73,088. So the only reason we're looking at this is because I think T-Shoe brought it up. Or maybe Gourmet Brand. Somebody brought it up. And we looked at it at the beginning of the stream. And then I opened up a short. And I actually managed to catch the only red candles here. Shorted that, made 40% on the short, closed it. I think it started to go back up. I closed it at 30% in the green. It is turning red again, though. So the volatility, guys, I cannot trade a stagnant project. When something is moving, even if it's up and down all over the place, if there's momentum behind the moves, it is tradable to me. And that was a good example. Great example, actually. If the price changes, you can trade it. Unfortunately, most of these things don't change in price. They've been either the same valuation or they're like sneak in movements when I'm not paying attention. And because I've moved on from being bored in the market and it's more profitable to have an actual job at the moment, I've just been not paying attention. So I did just recently refund my trading account, and we have been slowly getting back into it. So having fun, though. Having fun for sure. If you guys haven't already, join the Discord, links in the description. There's also links down there if you guys want to trade yourselves, but it is gambling, so treat it as such. Be careful out there. US dollar is losing purchasing power at a historic pace. That's crazy. Since 2000, money circulation has grown at an average annual rate of 6.2%. Wow. Yeah, look at 2020. They printed so much money. And then they got rid of a good chunk, and now they're printing again. And that's the exciting stuff that we're waiting for. Truflation posted breaking. The headline U.S. inflation CPI came in at 3.3% year over year, 0.9% up from 2.4% in February and January, and in line with Truflation's prediction. That's actually impressive. Market forecasts ranged from 3% to 3.8% and averaged 3.3% as well. This increase follows trends observed within Truflation's real-time transaction numbers related to quickly rising prices of gasoline and transportation. Core CPI was 2.6% year over year, up from 2.5% prior month. Monthly core CPI was 0.2% month over month in March, the same as in February. Official CPI increases were mainly linked to energy prices, which is gas. That's a nice way of saying gas. Cointelegraph posted, latest AI companies raised more in Q1 2026 than all of 2025, and people still think that the bubble's popping, or that there even is a bubble. I will say, there's a little shakeup going on in the world right now around data centers. There's people, I think Maine might have just outlawed data center construction, which is crazy. So there's like a coalition of like people that don't want data centers built in their area that are making it so data centers can't get built in their area. Having said that, if I get like a dividend, y'all can come to Michigan. I will fight for your right to data center as long as I get a check. So call me. I have a little bit of sway in my local government. That's not a joke. It's probably not as good as I think it is, but it's a little bit. It's a little bit more than like somebody who has none. Gourmet said, what's your go-to trading platform? Ourbit, the one in your bio? I actually like BitUnix, which that should be above Ourbit in my bio. I was an Ourbit guy. Yeah, BitUnix is above Ourbit. I like Ourbit for like the memes that BitUnix does not have. That's the only thing that I like Ourbit for. But I was an MXC guy. I was an MXC maxi. I loved MXC. Their user interface was so good. And then they forced KYC, which made me incredibly butthurt. So I moved to Ourbit, which I believe is made by the same team. There's some people that like left MXC and made Ourbit with no KYC, which is great. But BitUnix is my preferred choice. I think they have higher volume per capita, if you will. But they might be they're relatively the same, I think. I check CoinMarketCap if you're actually picky, which you should be. You should look into that, because if you get too low volume, too low liquidity, then you'll end up with a $8,000 Bitcoin market sell when Bitcoin's actually $60,000 because for some reason you decided to market buy on Binance US. Let's continue. World's most powerful reset. Oh yeah, Trump tweeted this. It was posted this on Truth Social. World's most powerful reset. Posted that today, which was kind of interesting. Tisha said, here living near a data center sucks. People struggle with noise like a hum and can't rest in their homes, supposedly. I believe it. The same thing is for Bitcoin mining. Fortunately, where I live right now, I don't think they could put one anywhere near me. They could put it out in the boonies. There's plenty of... Actually, let them go down in the city, man. Put them around all those fugly I looked at Michigan on Google Maps the other day, and I was zooming in. Pretty much like you get like 20 minutes outside of Detroit, and it's just all subdivision. It literally looks like Edward Scissorhands subdivisions, and it is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't understand why they've done that, why anybody allowed that to happen. Put data centers smack dab in the middle of all of those ugly ass neighborhoods. $250,000 homes, and they don't even have a freaking yard. It's hideous. It's so ugly. They're like ruining the planet. And for what? What sucks is I'm pretty sure I frequently work for one of the people that is developing jobs like that. He's a nice guy. He's a greedy bastard, though. I will say that. He's a greedy motherfucker. So it makes sense. Okay. Cointelegraph update. U.S. government moves 2.44 Bitcoin worth $177,000 of seized funds linked to Glenn Olivio wallet to Coinbase Prime. Very cool. World Liberty Finance drops 15% to all-time lows after World Liberty Financial's $75 million borrowing move. They don't care. They don't care. Cynthia Lummis warned that failing to pass Crypto Clarity Act now could delay U.S. crypto legislation until at least 2030. I believe her. I will say, if this woman ever runs for president, I would vote for her just on principle. She's been an absolute freaking legend, and she deserves all the praise. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong backed U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent's call to pass the Clarity Act, saying it's time for the legislation to move forward. If you didn't catch it, Bessent, who I think is one of the two brains, Bessent and Rubio, said Congress has spent the better part of half a decade trying to pass a framework to onshore the future of finance. It is time for banking GOP to hold a markup and send the Clarity Act to President Trump's desk. Let's freaking go. Should we check the poll? Let's check the poll. Oh, we're tied. I'm going to end it. We got 10 votes on the poll. We are ending the poll. We're going into poll number 3. I asked you guys, will we see the Clarity Act signed into law this month? 30% of you guys said no, banks won't play ball. 30% of you guys said no, they don't care about us. So that is actually 60% saying no. And then 40% said yes. 20% said yes, everyone is on board now. 20% said no, or I'm sorry, yes, now or never, fear of missing out. So let's go on to number 3, poll number 3. This one's going to be a little different. Should I get a solo miner? They've been minting blocks faster than ever. Yes, it'll be fun. No waste of time and money. Yes, it's just gambling. But more just gambling but funner. Or no. Just buy a scratch off. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Should I get a solo miner? They've been minting blocks faster than ever. Yes, it'll be fun. No, waste of time and money. Yes, it's just gambling but funner. Or no, just buy a scratch off. Let me know what you guys think. We literally read yesterday 2 solo miners on separate instances minted blocks, and then the day before another one. So 3 just this past week have minted blocks and earned $200,000 each. $5 a month in electricity costs on average. What is that? What does that equate to? So let me just do the math. $200,000. If Bitcoin stays at the current price divided by 5, it would take 40,000 months in order for that to be not profitable. It's a better lottery ticket. It is a better lottery ticket. I think the odds are 1 in 100,000. Significantly better than a lottery ticket. And there's more and more big data or big Bitcoin miners shutting down. It just seems like a no-brainer, man. Bitcoin $73,035.50. If I do get one, I will definitely make a video about it, and we'll talk about it every single stream just for fun. And I can publish the Will you get a small miner? It would be, yes, it would be like a little desktop one, but I would try to get a bigger small one. Like, I'm not going to get no ant miner, like an older ant miner model. It's probably going to be a cute little desktop one, which I think the ones that actually minted blocks this past week have all been smaller ones. Crazy. Belarus National Bank said around 25 cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and stablecoins, may be allowed for crypto banks. Very cool. That's actually a really pretty flag. New U.S. banks are working with the S&P Global to launch a new index tracking credit default swaps, according to Wall Street Journal. CoreWeave has signed a multi-year agreement with Anthropic to run AI workloads for its Claude model. Hell yeah. The Bank of Canada and major financial institutions met to discuss cybersecurity risks linked to Anthropic's latest AI model. They are getting spooked. Ladies and gentlemen, they are getting spooked. Personally, I feel like I should be spooked, but I don't have no like enterprise level responsibility. So I feel like the only people that really genuinely have to worry are like the governments and like the big institutions. So it's kind of fun to watch. Update: the U.S. personal savings rate fell 0.5 percentage points to 4% in February, the second lowest since November 2022. Crazy times. Alert: a user, this one's a PSA. Make sure you guys triple, quadruple check, do test transactions. Just check everything, man. You got to be really nerdy about it. It's a lot of money. And don't do it in the first transaction. That's insane. A user lost 386,300 in USDT after sending funds to a spoofed address from a poisoned transaction history. Be careful and always double check addresses. So what they do, in this instance, if I was the bad actor and Kwame was the guy who lost the money, before any of that had occurred, I would have sent Kwame like a fraction of a penny. And then he would, and for some reason, I guess just people just check their transaction history and they copy paste the latest receive address. So now, in order for me to do that, I would have to like make sure that it matches the first and last digits of his address. But I go through all that, and then he just copy pastes the last received address and sends $386,000 to that address because he knows like, oh, I'm the only one depositing in my account, right? Nope. I sent him a fraction of a penny, and I was the last transaction, so he just sent me $386,000. Thank you, Kwame. And that's because he didn't double check. So I'm keeping all the money. But yeah, that's how that happens. Address poisoning is a real thing. It's really easy. It's completely free. It's I think it's entirely like you cannot prevent them from poisoning your address, from what I'm aware, because it's just like a mailbox. You can't stop people from putting stuff in your mailbox too. It's the same concept. So what you got to do is go to the address and copy it. Don't copy it from the public transaction hash. That's crazy. Do test transactions. Don't send $386,000 in one transaction without quadruple checking. You got to be really like be psychotic about it. Pretend you're transacting $386,000. Update: Polymarket shows a 22% chance the Strait of Hormuz traffic will return to normal by the end of April. Wow. This one's crazy. This is same situation as the other one. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell held an urgent meeting with bank CEOs to warn about cybersecurity risks linked to Anthropic's new Mythos model, according to Reuters. These dudes are scared. They know Anthropic is superior. They're not having meetings about OpenAI. They're having meetings about Anthropic. You will never convince me that the Pentagon is not still using Anthropic's AI, which cracks me up. Donald Trump said the Strait of Hormuz is going to open anyway. I mean, it's open anyway. You could just go through there whenever you want. But also, someone can shoot a rocket and blow you up whenever they want to. That's the problem. And it's international waters. It's crazy. Kwame said scammers will find a way for real. Wait until they find out that they can just go into a store and rob them. Crazy. They're like innovative new scam. People robbing stores at gunpoint. New, Grayscale listed over 30 digital assets, including Ton, Jupe, Hype, ENA, and Tron, as under consideration for future investment products in Q2 2026. Who uses Tron? No one uses Tron. I don't know why it's listed on there. It's gonna, like, the bane of my existence is Tron. It drives me insane. But it's fine. Justin Sun can make all the money that he wants. It's crazy that all you had to do is create a blockchain that's just like stupid FU cheap and fast. You don't need nobody building on it or anything like that. People can just move money around on it. It's crazy that they picked Tron. I would assume Stellar or something, man. No, I'm not talking about Toncoin. I'm talking about Tron. Oh, it's ridiculous. Tron is TRX. Toncoin is TON. Monad. We got Canton, Cello, Mantle, Mega ETH, Monad, Toncoin, and Tron. ENA, Hyperliquid, Jupe, Camino Finance. That's a fun name. Maple Finance, Morpho, Pendle, Fabric Protocol, Robo, that's fun. Flock, Grass, Kito, Kite AI, Noise Research, Poseidon, Venice, Virtuals Protocol, and WorldCoin. 00, Geode Net, Helium, Jito, Layer 0, and Wormhole. Very cool. I like Grayscale. Lunar Entity said, most blockchains are just token databases anyways. Yeah. Yes, they are. Justin, U.S. M2 money supply rose 4.8% year over year in February to a record 22.6 trillion, marking its 24th consecutive monthly increase. Money printer go burr. Gourmet said, I'm going to go and bring my fish pole. All right. Right. Shopify launched an AI toolkit that lets merchants manage their stores using AI agents like Claude Code, Codex, Cursor, and VS Code. Very cool. Lunar Entity said Grayscale is notorious for value destruction in their products. That actually explains why Cardano sucks ass. Mark Chadwick, the man, the myth, the legend. POV, you panic sold your crypto at the bottom right before the most parabolic pump imaginable hits the market with clarity and trillions flood the market. Damn. MSB Intel, Iranian delegation arrives in Pakistan for talks. U.S.-Iran negotiations expected to begin tomorrow. Focus, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, extending the fragile ceasefire. Pakistan continues to act as the mediator between both sides. Now remember, the ceasefire is 2 weeks long. We are like 2 days into it. It's entirely possible that tomorrow ends up being a 150,000% nothing burger nonsense garbage. They're going to say, yes, no, we have a deal, we don't have a deal, we're fighting, we're making love. They're going to say all the things. We're going to try to trade it if we can, but it's most likely just going to be a big nothing burger nonsense bullcrap garbage day when it comes to news. Lunar Entity said Dick Cheney also said in 2022 that Iran was the end game. If they went on the ground, there'd be no exit plan. Damn. Okay, next we've got Hormuz bottleneck persists. Shipping remains heavily restricted with traffic largely limited to Iran-linked vessels. Several supertankers approached the route but stopped short of exiting the Persian Gulf. Ceasefire and U.S. pressure have yet to reopen flows. That's crazy. Breaking White House advisor Kevin Hassett says the Strait of Hormuz could be reopened within 2 months. This guy freaks me out. He looks so familiar too. Bitcoin Magazine posted history buying 10 Bitcoin for $3.48 in 2010. That's 10 Bitcoin now is worth $672,285 today. Moral of the story, just buy and hold for the love of God. Not financial advice. That is what I plan on doing. So far it's working out in my favor, but it's taken a long ass time. Crypto Rover, Bitcoin bearish structure is still intact. New Bitcoin lows are coming in Q2, Q3 2026. We will see. This is, in fact, well, it's sloppy, but I see it. It is potentially a bear flag. So we'll see what happens. It is that repeating structure. We've looked at it and talked about it a million times. Lunar Entity said quarterly bearish divergence confirmed on the volatility index. All major indices also opened their quarterly candles above the close. Very nice. Yeah, I'm expecting some recovery here. Ish. Tisha said you're going to buy Bitcoin finally? I bought Bitcoin for a little while in 23 or 24. I don't remember. But I think I'm going to buy some. Bull theory. Breaking. Bitcoin reclaims $73,000 and ETH reclaims $22.50. Bitcoin is now up 10% in the last 8 days, while Ethereum is up 12%. $209 billion has been added to the crypto market in the last 8 days. Number go up. Whale Insider posted just in over $5 billion in crypto shorts set to be liquidated if Bitcoin rallies $5,000 from its current price. That was 13 hours ago. Let's see what happens. Lark Davis, brutal truth, 99% of your altcoins are going to zero. I agree with him because 99% of the altcoins were probably created today. So you can only put so much money in so many of them. Shib Spain posted altcoins and meme coins are about to go parabolic. Let's go. Cup with a stolen Merlin chart. Everyone is bearish right now. Everyone is calling for lower targets, but I'm telling you, the bottom is in. Capitulation is over. Weak hands have already been shaken out. Bitcoin is going to 200,000, and altcoins will 50x on average. If you sold the bottom, you deserve to miss what's coming. I'll keep sharing updates on everything like I always do. If you still haven't followed me, you'll regret it. We got Crypto Fergani breaking biggest bull run ever starting now, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, believe this is the stock market insiders scooping the poop. They bought the dip. Yeah, they are buying, which this was net negative just a week ago. It was blanket red. There was zero buys. It was nothing but sells. Insiders were selling. Now it is the exact opposite. Insiders are buying at a tremendously fast pace. So they probably know a lot more than we do. Next, Crypto Fergani. Let me get into character. Excuse me. me. All right. Tom Lee broke the bull meter on live TV. In crypto, the best years are definitely ahead. Today, only 4 million Bitcoin wallets hold $10,000. Globally, there are 900 million IRA and brokerage accounts with $10,000. That's a 200x larger market. The gap is massive. Tom Lee, a big fan of the gap. We are a big fan of Tom Lee. Therefore, by association, we are also a big fan of the gap. Crypto Fergani also said, if you hold 0.1 Bitcoin, guaranteed top 2.63% globally, 21 million coins. Let me repeat that. If you hold 0.1 Bitcoin, 1/10 of 1 Bitcoin, you are guaranteed top 2.63% globally because there's only 21 million coins. That's actually wrong as well because not all of those 21 million coins are circulating. I think a big chunk of them is gone forever in like wallets of people who are deceased, Satoshi's wallet. It's crazy. Top 2.13% after subtracting 4 million lost coins. There you go. Only 4.5 million addresses hold over 0.1 Bitcoin. Top 0.56%. You're ahead of 99.4% of the world. Let that sink in. That's pretty epic. What if I said we trust Tom Lee? Did I say trust? I think I said we like Tom Lee. I don't know if I said trust. I do have some Bitmine, but I don't know. Trust, that's a big word. I was just going to search trust. Okay. I mean, I don't not trust him. Man. Look at the difference. You got volatility, volume, momentum, beautiful, and then it just dies down, and it's still a little fun, still a little bit, and then nothing, and now it's just flatlined. Nonsense. That's crazy. What did they do? What did they even do back here? Like, what was all this? It's gotta be weird to like pivot. Like MicroStrategy, I think they're a software company. Am I right? Or am I wrong? I think they used to sell software or something. They were a technology company in some aspect. And now suddenly they're just like, I think they still do that, but they just also buy Bitcoin? I don't know. What was it? A trust Tomley more than Philly? All right. Next. Yeah, 0.1 Bitcoin is the goal. If more than that, even better. All right, we got the big one from Crypto Fergani. Let me take a sip of coffee. Lunar Entity said, I guess they see an easy money environment ahead. I still just can't fathom credit going below 1997 or 2007 floors. Yeah, that's what I was concerned with as well. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of room to go down. All right, here we go. Crypto Fergani. Why retail is never coming back to crypto. They came in 2021, bought altcoins and NFTs, and got destroyed. They came again in 2025, chased meme coins, and got wrecked again. Now they know crypto is a scam. They moved to stocks because it feels safer. So yes, retail is out. Only whales and institutions are here right now. That's why the market feels slow, flat, and boring. This is the silence before the boom. Most people think retail will never return, but they don't understand how this market works. Once institutions finish loading, once they start pushing Bitcoin hard, once Bitcoin does a 20% candle out of nowhere, retail will come back instantly. They always chase hype. They always chase green candles. They always buy late. We're not waiting for retail. We're waiting for the big players to fill their bags. And they're doing it quietly right now. When they finally hit the switch, Bitcoin will explode. Alts will start 10x, 20x, 50x. The whole market will wake up in minutes. This isn't the end. This is the calm before the chaos. If you still haven't followed me, you'll regret it. Hell yeah. Crypto Fergani, ladies and gentlemen. We got a big fat Bitcoin pump, maybe? I don't know. Testing previous all-time highs, which is what we've done every single time, by the way. Every single time. Without fail. Lunar Entity said, insiders flipped to buys after credit rejected, it seems. That is actually on point perfectly. You are correct. We got another Crypto Fergani. Bottom is in. Biggest bull run starts now. Lock the fuck in. If you still haven't followed me, you'll regret it. Waterfly said, unfollow. That's like a bannable offense to these people. That's great. Unfollow. Trump said the floodgates are opening and Bitcoin will hit 1 million. I talked to the biggest companies, the biggest families in the world, and every single one of them is racing to buy Bitcoin. Didn't he say this like a year ago? I guess he wasn't wrong, but I'm pretty sure they've bought already, buddy. They probably bought the top at your suggestion as well. Bar chart posted secured overnight financing rate drops to 3.59%, the lowest since 2022. Salesforce CRM falls to lowest price in more than 3 years. Warren Buffett said, I would still be buying stocks even if World War III broke out. And he's explained this. We've talked about this a bunch of times as well. You either have nuclear war where everyone dies in a fiery inferno, or you don't and everybody makes a bunch of money. What are your options? The money can go down a little bit, but eventually it's going to go back up. The stock market goes up. That's just, it has to go up. Always goes up. There's always money getting put into it. They're constantly printing money. There's going to be money constantly going into the stock market. It's just silly not to place that bet, in my opinion. Worst case scenario, you got to wait a decade. Big whoop. Most people have that time. Warren Buffett is smart. He is. He's a very smart guy. I've been listening to his lectures and stuff. Maybe not lectures. I don't know if that's the right word. His speeches and stuff. Smart dude. S&P 500 on track for its 8th consecutive green day. Longest winning streak since April-May 2025. Very fun. Japan's 10-year yield hits highest level this century. That's pretty high. Lunar said Warren was a lot smarter before his insider backdoor channels got regulated, right? Yeah, that too. U.S. Treasury buys back $2 billion of their own debt. Number go up. Single stocks expected to be more volatile than the S&P 500 by the largest margin since October 2008. Anything interesting happening or anything interesting happened then? Maybe. Maybe. Now imagine if 2008 happened but there was no collapse. This time is different? I don't know. It might not be. NASDAQ QQQ just saw its largest 3-month outflow this century. Number go down. Lunar said he still should have full ported Apple. Yeah. University of Michigan Bloomberg. We've got Microsoft on track for its third consecutive weekly close below its 200-week moving average. The last time this occurred was more than 13 years ago. Wow. Lunar said I get why he held back, but man. Oh yeah, there's always that little bit of regret for everything, I think. Palantir is worth well under $50 per share. Warren's Big Short investor Michael Burry, the one-trick pony himself, says he's betting against Palantir after Trump post a boost stock. Interesting. Nike headed for its lowest closing price in 12 years. Somebody just bought some of this. I don't remember who. We read about it yesterday. $42.56 in this post. And we've got Campbell's Soup falling to its lowest price in more than 23 years. They're going to report on this every single day. Crazy. I will say, if there is a recession, Campbell's will probably do really well. It is actually poor people food. I know because I'm a poor person. U.S. fertility rate has fallen to the lowest level in history and is significantly below replacement level. This is going to spook a lot of people as well. If the population is not increasing over time, then the amount of money printed with less people is going to cause a problem, I believe. Love the stock symbol edition. Yeah, oh yeah, this is just funny. It's just funny that he's like doing product placement at this point. Campbell Soup now has the lowest market cap of any stock in the S&P 500 and is in grave danger of getting the boot the next time around. Damn. What's above it? EPAM Systems Inc. What do they even do? ConAgra's number 3? Wow. Pool Corp, Mosaic, Skyworks, Molson. Ooh, I kind of want to short the beer companies, but you never know when a trend is going to take off. I feel like kids just don't drink, man. Apple is up 120,000% from 2003. Wow, that's crazy. That is insane. 2003. So 20 years, man. You just got to hold something for 20 years and you can retire. That's probably the magic number. Oh, we got a couple. Okay, Coinfessions. Round-tripped $400,000 in profits over the past 4 months. I couldn't care less, to be honest. My kids are healthy. We have a roof over our heads. One day, everything will be worth nothing. This is the right way, man. Obviously, you should take profits. If you got 400K in profits, you should take profits. However, this is all imaginary. The money's imaginary. The crypto especially is imaginary. It's fun when you take it out and you make it real. But if you don't make it real, it never existed, man. It was all on paper. It's like a video game. Until you take profits, it's a video game, man. What if I said don't drink? What do? I don't know, man. They all vape. They all vape and do drugs. You know how many prescription medications these kids are on nowadays? It's crazy. They all vape and pop pills, man. I had $70,000 in crypto last year. Now I have $10,000 and sold. No job, and now I have to break my apartment lease and move back home. Damn. Sometimes you gotta make those decisions, though, man. I started this cycle with $4,000, had $33,000 all-time high. Could have made more, but I was always afraid to invest heavily. Have 9K left right now. Is the bull over, or are we just in a slump now? That's scary. Lunar said Microsoft is up 2,900% from 2009. That is a wild difference. That is actually quite crazy. I feel like Microsoft, you got to go way, like Apple kind of got their start in the mid 90s, early 2000s. Microsoft goes back a little bit further. Like I feel like their hype started a lot earlier, whereas Apple's hype was early 2000s. We got NASA Artemis 2 capsule successfully splashing down on Earth. Congratulations to the surviving astronauts. Thank you for wasting our money. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. That is pretty cool. Regardless of whether or not it was real or fake, it looks cool. I'm happy. Pickle Rick said, what it is, yo? Indeed. Bitcoin Magazine posted investment bank giant TD Cowen predicts Bitcoin to hit $140,000 this year and issues a buy rating for Bitcoin treasury companies Nakamoto and Strive. That's actually pretty epic. Ben Cowen probably a little bit upset about that, isn't he? Waterfly said Mythos gonna cause Microsoft trouble. Apparently Mythos is gonna cause everybody trouble. Kobe SE letter. Breaking, Iran is struggling to fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz because it cannot locate all the sea mines it deployed and lacks the capability to remove them. Blow them up, bro. Get a stupid remote boat and fly it through that bitch until all those things explode. You need, if there's 4 mines, you need 4 boats. Remote control, it's not that hard. Why is it hard? Get a net. It seems kind of like a silly thing. Am I wrong? TD doesn't mention Bitminer. No, they do not. No, they do not. They said Bitcoin treasury company specifically. Clearly, they're related to Ben Cowen in some capacity because they're not a fan of anything but Bitcoin. Pick Rick said, did you just start the news? No, I'm actually right at the butt end of the news. I just finished it. We got Kobe SE later, though, see if there's any updates. We got one update. U.S. private equity firms have massive exposure to software. A near record 49% of all private equity deals now target software and technology service companies. The percentage has doubled over the last 15 years. This comes as private market managers poured hundreds of billions of dollars into software firms over this period, betting that software as a service business models would produce strong growth and consistent cash generation. By comparison, healthcare represents 14% of PE deals, less than a third of the size of software exposure. The private equity industry has never been this exposed to a single sector. And I bet you that is going to be a problem. Software as a service is going to get snuffed out by artificial intelligence because they are gouging. If Photoshop was like $10 a month, I would pay for that all day. It's just easy. $120 a year. Easy to not think about it. But it's like $20, $25. That's too much. And they don't offer me an option to buy a lifetime license. They're price gouging. They know they're price gouging. And that is why they are going to get snuffed out by artificial intelligence. And I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh at them. Because they've been price gouging, dude. Same with these streaming services are gouging too. Netflix is like $22 if you don't want ads. Why do I want ads? The whole purpose of me paying for your service before was because you didn't have advertisements. Now you have an option with ads, and it's like $10. By the time you get 3 or 4 of them, you might as well just pay for cable. It's crazy. Waterfly said I'm buying BMNR TD, poor history. Oh, interesting. Okay. Lunar said Apple is up a grand total of 587,000% from its 1982 all-time low. 40 years. 40 years is the new 20. That is actually true because you can't buy a house until you're in your 40s as well. Oh, man. Good times, good times. Netflix creates content. Not anymore. Their flagship show just ended. Stranger Things. But even then, I don't know. It's so freaking expensive, man. Netflix. So the Disney Hulu HBO bundle is like $36. That is the greatest deal on the planet to me. You get 3 premium services. That's all that I ever need, man. I'm going to go cancel Netflix as soon as I'm done with this stream. I got to finish Peaky Blinders. That's the only thing I don't want to... Once Peaky Blinders is done, that's it. It's over. There's no reason to watch Netflix anymore. I'm canceling it. It's going to happen. Oh, yeah. Should we check? Is it dangerous to scroll the homepage? Oh my gosh, Grok is on crack. What's going on here? January 2027, Grok is actually on crack. That's crazy. Butterfly said they have porn in those 3. I feel like HBO has a lot of borderline pornographic. Have you not seen Game of Thrones? It's too much, man. It's too much. Like, if it's essential to the plot, sure, but at a certain point, it's just gratuitous. Out of control, man. You don't have to show it every day. You can, like, allude to it without showing it every single time. You don't have these thoughts until you have a kid, and you got to shut the damn show off. Every single day, you're trying to catch up on the next episode, and then something, like, slightly inappropriate happens, and your fiance gives you that look, you know, she's like, and you're like, oh, I'm shutting it off. I didn't direct the damn show. Out of control, man. Lunar Entity said, it makes me wonder how the value of these companies will translate into new monetary system. That's going to be really interesting, too, actually. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. If there's $1 million different dollars, how are we going to determine the stock market? Federal Reserve is asking for major U.S. banks for details about their exposure to private credit following a surge in redemptions from the funds and a rise in troubled loans in the industry, per Bloomberg. Ooh. Fire up Stills Boys homemade whiskey is illegal. What? XRP accounts. Sold all my stocks in crypto today. The U.S. will enter a massive recession driven by private credit and real estate. Before 2008, there were many warnings of an impending bubble and bursting. Act now or regret forever. Thesis below. Blah, 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 blah. Do we read that little fear-mongery? I don't think we're going to go into... I don't think Trump would allow that. Federal Reserve Bank of New York. In 6 months, people will say, I wish I paid attention. Someone told me about the Fed's reverse repo just hit a 5-year low. Most important signal in crypto right now. Most people will scroll past this. Don't be one of them. I'm telling you now. I don't get it. Scrolling past. Ethereum holders don't even talk about the price anymore. They just look at you like this. Oh, man. The feed is good today, man. This is funny. Now, this is a different one. This chart can't make it any more obvious that crypto is about to explode. The Fed has skyrocketed Treasury bill holdings to $400 billion plus. This chart is vertical. MACD shows the last time it was this aggressive was 2020, right before crypto went parabolic. Now stack it. Fed balance sheet expanding again. Around 18 billion weekly injections. Treasury buybacks, record 15 billion. T-bill purchases at 381 billion plus. PMI back in expansion. This is how liquidity enters the system. It starts in the bond market, moves into equities, then flows into crypto. We've seen this exact setup before. We're not late. We're early. Let's go. Bitcoin, $73,049.28. Market is a mix, mostly green, looking good. Gold after hours is flat and boring. It's probably going to be every single weekend is flat and boring. Weekend. You can point it out on the chart. It's really easy. And people don't like trading gold and silver on the weekends. They're stubborn old men. Gourmet said, Microsoft raised our licensing fees at work from $7 to $22. I'm thinking about buying the stock. Maybe earnings will be good next quarter per user. Ooh, that's actually a good idea. Looter said, Microsoft has been in a nice value area for a while. I mean, they bought Minecraft, so they got their gaming pretty much down. And as far as operating systems go, it is the operating system for PCs. Like, Apple's still struggling there, for sure. All right. I guess we'll call it. We've been going for a little while. Bitcoin's chilling. It's 11:15. Wow, I didn't realize how late it was. Let's check the chat. Check the poll. Oh, you guys said no, it's a waste of money. Hold on, let's do some math here. We got to do some JJ math. We got 22 and 22. So we're actually tied. Are we tied? 45. So half. What is that? 3. There's like 44%. I'm assuming that's supposed to be 22.5 each. 45% of you guys said no, waste of time and money if I should get a solo miner. 22% said yes, it'll be fun. 22% said yes, it's gambling, but funner. And 11% said no, just buy a scratch off. I think we're tied. We'll have to redo that when we got more people. But anyways, guys, we had a profitable trade today. 30% in the green on a short on Rave. Appreciate you, 88 medals, for that. Give me the balls to execute. Sometimes you need a little financial advice. Anyways, guys, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Join the Discord. Links in the description. It's completely free. As always, I'll see you all tomorrow.